This is a Bergen Film Club podcast.
Like an old movie removed from the frame, I am floating and looking for someone to blame. Won't you project me on the walls of your heart? I'm waiting for the real thing to start.
Hello, welcome to The Real Thing. I'm your host, Joe Lawrence. This is a podcast that is an extension of Bergen Film Club, in which we talk about the films included in the film's program, why they're cool, why we chose them, why you should watch them. Today we have a lovely film, very nice film indeed, and joined by equally lovely returning guest, Caroline Tranberg.
Hello.
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 Here she is.
Here I am.
Once again.
I'm back again, but
Yeah.
now you get a new version of me because I'm sick. So it's a bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carolina she's been sick.com.
Yes, I have been the definition of sickness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so brave of you to come on the podcast despite the adversities and challenges that you're facing right now.
I feel very brave.
Yeah,
Yes.
you should.
Yeah. And just so everyone know, we are recording over Zoom, so there's no, I'm not gonna infect you and kill you with what I'm having.
That's nice.
Yes.
I really appreciate that.
You're welcome. I'm
Being
nice
sick
like that.
sucks. Yeah.
It does. It
Yeah.
really does.
So yeah, I guess we'll try and keep things a little shorter than normal so we don't keep you from your rotting in bed activities.
I'm technically still rotting in bed.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Rotting in bed alone, I should say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Only company is Agent Cooper.
Happy Valentine's Day for last
Happy
week.
Valentine's Day. That's a holiday
Yeah.
that I was sick during, which was
me
even
too.
more visible.
We are here to talk about the incredibly true adventure of two girls in love, 1995, Maria Maggenti directed movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which we showed on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, we did.
Yes.
And I think
So it was extra sad
yeah,
that I couldn't go. Yeah.
do you want to quickly get out the kind of Carolina curse out of the way?
I have a curse.
Yeah.
So all of the films I'm most excited about, I get sick. Or not all of them. Two of them I've been sick, and one of them we had audio issues. That was when we showed Host,
Right.
and I was so excited. It's the Rob Savage horror film. And suddenly our whole audio system just done. Didn't work. Couldn't get a sound out. We had to switch the whole system because it was like this is it. It's over. I got so drunk that day, but that doesn't matter. And then there was Twilight. I don't remember which one of these came first, to be honest, but we were showing Twilight. I tried to get Twilight on the program for so long, like
Yeah.
years.
Mm.
And then I was like, this year it's happening because it's a female director, the first one,
Mm.
and it's a great film.
Very true.
You can argue with the wall. I think it's great. And and then I was like home, just visiting my parents. Then my dad got a bit sick, and I was like, I hope this isn't anything infectious or COVID, because this was 2021, so it's kind of like COVID times. It wasn't COVID.
Okay.
And then I get back to Bergen, and I was so sick. Like,
No.
my friend Ainsley, hey girly,
Hey, Ainsley.
hey Ainsley, I love you. Uh, she Like, I remember her going to the store for me, and she knocked on the door, and I opened, and she just started laughing over how awful I looked.
Damn.
And that was when we were showing Twilight, so I couldn't go. And now,
Oh, that really sucks. What a film to
yeah,
miss.
I cried. No joke.
Yeah.
I was crying the whole day because I was like, I've been waiting for this for years.
Mm. But nonetheless, I believe it was a success and
Yeah,
everyone enjoyed it. Love was felt. Good times were had.
love was felt. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into the film a bit and then we can talk a little bit about why you chose it.
Yeah.
So, as I said, it is a 1995 American comedy drama film written and directed by Maria Maggenti. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
It has two
I'm
G's.
sorry.
I'm not sure where to go from there. It stars Laurel Holloman, Nicole Ari Parker, and Maggie Moore. And it tells the story of two very different high school girls who fall in love and their relationship. In way of production, in 1992, Maria Maggenti started a script with an image in her head of a tomboy with love notes in her back pocket, gradually adding more characters such as the tomboy's family and her love interest. Later, she realized this character was based on her first girlfriend. Maggenti's script, which originated as, quote, a very dark story of teenage sexuality and teenagers' relationship to adults, end quote, grew until Maggenti briefly abandoned it in 1994. However, the film's future associate producer, Melissa Painter, convinced Maggenti to shop the story around as an independent film. Two producers wanted a pivotal element of the two love interests being from very different paths, so Maggenti added a scene that established the beginning of the girls' relationship. The producers were delighted with this, so Maggenti wrote a new script, which she finished in 8 days. She found she had surprised herself in that the script was now a comedic farce. The story wasn't about gay love or coming out, but about first love between teenagers. Shooting was completed in 21 days during the summer of 1994. Scenes taking place at Randy and Evie's high school were filmed in divisions of Horace Mann School and in Riverdale neighborhood of the Bronx. Of the film's ending being likened by audience to a Hollywood romantic ending, Maggenti said, quote, a lot of people have mentioned to me that the shot looks like a marriage portrait. The final shot is actually a very ambivalent shot, leaving them at the threshold of adulthood, a relationship, their families, everything, end quote. It debuted in 1995 at Sundance Film Festival and received good reviews. It was then given a limited theatrical release in the United States on June 16th, 1995, and it was also theatrically released in Australia in 1996 and also in the UK. Why did you choose this movie, Carolina?
So one thing I really like to get on the program is, first of all, a queer film. And I do enjoy happy queer films.
Mm.
And I feel like this is very much that. It's so funny and the characters are so interesting. And spoiler alert, none of them dies in the end. Shocking, I know.
What?
And after watching it, I just felt so happy. And I was like, I need to share this happiness with everyone I love because
Yeah.
I had such a fun time watching it. And yeah, it's so lovely. That's kind of how I feel about it. It's just very lovely. And it's so fun to see like the difference between the characters and the family. I think this is the first time I've seen like a film from the 90s where it's like such an open queer family for yeah, no, it's just the house of the why I apologize, my brain is not working
That's totally okay.
100%. I can't remember a single name right now. Just give me a
Randy,
second.
Frank.
Yeah, Randy, her
Yeah.
family, like she lives with her aunts and she's a lesbian. And their house is just, it has like a rainbow flag on the outside and it's like I just looked at it, it's like, damn, that's all I want. I want to just live in such a queer home that is so positive and open. And no, yeah, I just think it's so lovely to see and be able to see that on a big screen.
Absolutely.
And not every queer story needs to end tragically and be tragic. It can be funny and quirky and a bit awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll come to talk a bit more about that like in a bit, but I think it really pushes the great people be gay narrative.
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah.
which I appreciate very much in films like this because their queerness isn't like the subject of the film. It's just kind of like it's just what's happening.
Yeah.
You know, no question about it. It's just in the same way that a straight relationship is never like a man and a woman dating. Like, let's discuss
Oh
this.
my God.
Like,
yeah.
It's accepted in the way that the straight relationship would be in a rom-com, for example. It's the expected thing in a way.
Yeah. There's still like scenes of them like questioning, especially Evie, her questioning her sexuality, but it's done in like it's not the main focus of the film.
Yeah.
It's her being like a bit unsure what is going on. She tells her friends they're not that supportive of it, but they're not like beating her up. It's just like, well, I think I'm queer, so bye. Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to talk a bit about the critical reception from the Real Thing's homeboy, Roger Ebert. So he gave the film 3 out of 4, his classic rating system, and said it was warm-hearted, funny, and involving, and the 2 leads are very well cast.
Yes.
I was also very happy. So, just quickly, the MPA, Motion Picture Association, is an American trade association representative of 5 major film studios in the US, as well as the video streaming service Netflix. And it was founded in like the 1920s. And it's like this huge conglomerate that serves as it rates movies, I believe. Like NC-17 or like R rating or PG, for example.
Yeah.
So he lambasted the MPA for giving the film a R rating for a love scene between the 2 young women, arguing a similar love scene between a boy and a girl wouldn't have qualified for the word strong, and the MPA is shocked by homosexuality. The R rating is ironic when you reflect how much healthier and more thoughtful this film is than so much mindless, action-oriented family entertainment, and how likely it is to inspire conversations about values.
Yeah.
End quote. Which is very true.
Yeah.
His review itself, he wasn't afraid to use some words, I'm going to say.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no.
But I guess this article was written in 1995. I would like to say it was a different time.
I mean,
but moreover, he kind of the majority of the article is just kind of reflecting kind of like the nice family values like you talked about and like the meaning of chosen family and home and queer love.
Yeah.
It's like that might not be a conventional family, but it's a healthy family, is what he said, which I think is very nice.
Yeah.
What a dude.
What a guy.
I was like, we talk about him so much. I feel like I'm gonna have to do an episode about Roger Ebert at some point because I use his reviews in like every single episode. But I mean, he was writing and he was telling the truth online.
Word.
For years up until his death.
Rip.
Yeah. I was looking through a list of films that he had given like the 100% to, like the
Hmm.
4 out of 4. And it is such a crazy mix of films. Like, I feel like
That's fun.
you can't, there's no like, because I feel like with a lot of critics, they tend to favor certain things.
Oh yeah, you can tell, kinda.
But no, it's
Of
just
course,
all over the place.
that's fun.
Yeah.
I like that.
Like he gave 500 Days of Summer 4 stars.
Oh.
He gave Ollie Fury to the Soul 4 stars. He
Hmm.
gave Alien 4 stars. Like,
Like,
yeah, what a guy.
I, I will trust the film critic that gave Alien 4 stars.
Yeah.
Just say, yeah.
And I'm always very surprised when he likes some, like, I was not that, I don't know why, but I was kind of surprised that he liked this so much.
Yeah, but I get what you mean because it's always a bit like, what are you gonna think about this film? Because it's yeah,
Yeah.
it's the it's probably not for everyone solely based on the fact that it's about two women being in love.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he reviewed over like 1,000 movies.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Like, well, I think that's at least what he gave 4 stars to was 1,000 movies, like in amongst
Whoa.
all of the films that he ever reviewed, which is just incredible. I just wanted to shout out to the real one, Roger Ebert up in heaven, looking down
Yeah.
on this. I hope you
I
listen to
hope
the
you approve.
podcast.
Yeah, up there
Up there.
or down there, wherever you are.
Yeah, maybe they have Wi-Fi. They have Wi-Fi in hell.
Maybe. They better.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought we could talk a little bit about the director, Maria Maggenti,
Yes. Yep.
or found her to have something of an interesting career.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she is an American film director and screenwriter who is traditionally credited for making independent films, even though she's done a lot more work out of the 2 films that she made. She was the script editor for an American television series Without a Trace from 2003, which is like a true crime procedural, and has written many
Ooh.
episodes for the show as well, but is perhaps best known for her feature, The Incredibly Two Adventure of Two Girls in Love. Her film Puccini for Beginners was in competition at the Sundance Film Festival in 2006, and she has been an activist with ACT UP for many years, which is an AIDS Coalition to Unleash Power, which is an international political group working to end the AIDS pandemic. Um, yeah, and she studied philosophy, Greek and Latin at university, so not necessarily having like a background in film coming from that. She moved to New York City, working in television commercials and production of gay rights and AIDS activist documentaries. During this time, she put together letters asking friends and colleagues to support her enrollment at the New York University Film School. She wanted to create films regarding gay and lesbian life that were more realistic and missing from mainstream movies. She then enrolled in NYU's graduate film program and was awarded a teaching fellowship. During the time between 1990 and 1994, she worked on very short films and then came her debut and made her a name for herself in the community. And she's famously only made 2 films, both 11 years apart. So, off her first movie, Incredible True Adventure of Two Girls, uh, was very successful despite it having a very, very limited budget. And then her second movie came in 2006, Puccini for Beginners, a romantic comedy based off her big first love affair with a man, and was filmed in New York City over the span of 18 days and was released in 2006. And after she filmed these films, she relocated to Los Angeles, shifting her focus to television writing, which is when she started writing on this Without a Trace show. Her involvement writing on Without a Trace was a transition due to the fact that she was working alongside others instead of alone, as she had been doing so for 10 years. She describes how she ultimately came to love it and loved her colleagues. While she did enjoy the being in the company of, quote, all of these smart people, end quote, she adds that from a lifestyle point of view, she did not like the, quote, idea of that we have to work Monday to Friday every day in an office for 11 months straight. End quote. Same, honestly. So.
I mean, yes.
Yeah. She also wrote an episode of 90210 and ended up co-producing several other episodes. In 2007, she was commissioned by Sundance Film Festival to create a movie for cell phone. And then I couldn't find that. So there you go. That's everyone's homework. In 2010, she co-wrote the comedy Monte Carlo, starring Selena Gomez, which was released in 2011. And as I briefly mentioned, she is a core member of this ACT UP, an activist group working to impact the lives of people with AIDS. She's co-authored some of the group's educational materials and has been a participant and documentarian of many of the group's direct actions. As a member of ACT UP Oral History Project, she is one of the people preserving the history of ACT UP and the years of the AIDS pandemic and filmed interviews with people who have lived through it. Love that.
It's fine.
Yeah. So very like driven to kind of protect and show queer art and also the queer community. And you would know this from the extremely interesting Wikipedia personal life segment on her page that just says Maggenti is bisexual, period. And then there's a reference. So, yeah.
That is going to be my Wikipedia page at some point.
Caroline is bisexual, and then a quote.
Yes.
Yeah.
Quote being from this very podcast. I am bisexual.
Yeah. Yeah, so like a pretty like minimalist career in a way, but she's done a lot, and I think that films like this always have a place and do have such a big impact. And it's it's great to have films like this that do show queer love in a way that's cozy and real and not at the mercy of some straight person's narrative.
Yeah, because it's not nice to be a queer person and just see all the films about your potential love life being tragic.
Yeah, definitely.
That's kind of upsetting. Yeah, you can have a nice, fulfilling, and beautiful relationship with a person, and none of you have a tragic death.
Yeah, and we've talked about this before when we did the Different from the Others episode, that like how like, you know, like in a way, I guess I wish that maybe I'd seen this movie sooner, because in that episode we talked about like how this kind of like nice queer expression is missing from a lot of stuff that we would have seen growing up.
Oh yeah.
Because I was like, I will get AIDS and die if I have sex with a man, because that's like the portrayal of it in media. That was only the ever like, oh, this is a gay relationship, but then one of them is going to get HIV and die, and or one of them is going to get like beaten to death, or
just brutally killed for being gay.
And like that's personally made it difficult for someone who is such a fan of Stephen King. That watching or reading that growing up, I was like, well, you know, if the common denominator of all these gay characters is that one of them is going to die or get like viciously bullied.
Yeah.
Which is why, I guess we touched a lot about that in that previous episode, but specifically kind of like the added element of being a lesbian is that you are typically a woman.
Yeah.
And that kind of adds another level of exploitation, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Especially from like a male director or a straight male director.
Yes.
Yeah. Because like in the realm of like trash cinema, there's dykesploitation.
Yes.
Which is like a genre, but I feel like that can also just be applied to a lot of these like mainstream movies
definitely
as well, because
100%.
it's just like gratuitous lesbianism in a way that's kind of like not serving any kind of like queer agenda, but just kind of like the enjoyment of a straight male watcher.
Yeah.
Um, and I know that I've definitely felt that watching like some films, like famously, Blue is the Warmest Color is a movie that at the time I think received so much like praise and accolade for being this kind of like very like visceral and real portrayal of a lesbian relationship, but ultimately all it is super exploitative and uncomfortable. And
yeah, I have avoided that film like the plague. I have not seen it. Just because hearing about it, it's like, oh, this is kind of weird and gross. And like it feels very exploited.
Absolutely. And similarly, I know that a lot of like film people love Park
Call them
Chan-wook.
film bros.
Film bros love Park Chan-wook. I like Park Chan-wook. I think he is a good director. You know, Old Boy, Decision to Leave, good movies. But The Handmaiden, I hate that movie. Like, I remember I watched that in the cinema when it came out, whenever that was, and I was like, this, like, the sex scenes in that film just feel so like, because in that film there's like an element of like power dynamic and kind of control over the other person. But it's just really uncomfortable, like gratuitous nudity, sex. And like as a straight male writer, like how much can you really understand about that? And like I don't want to be like that's the reason that it's bad is because it's a straight male director, because there are plenty of films absolutely where queerness is shown in a way that's good, and that's why. But in this film in particular, like they scissor in that movie, and I don't know a lot about females, obviously, but like you know, if it felt like I was watching porn in the cinema.
Yeah.
Just kind of like that exploitation kind of gets so easy to do.
Yeah.
Because it can be like under the narrative of like, oh, we're showing like a queer relationship or like a lesbian expression. It's like that's not, to me, it's not an excuse to just slam. Anyway, but like I forgot which podcast I'm on. I can't like talk shit.
Keep it PG.
Yeah, time out.
It's time to stop.
Yeah. Yeah, but like the media portrayal of lesbians is very all over the place, I feel.
Yeah.
But
you can very obviously see if you show a sex scene from a queer director and a straight director, you can tell very easily because it's very porny from the straight director, and it's very clearly that it's like, oh, they find the thought of two women being together hot, so it's gonna be hot, and it's not gonna be realistic. It's just gonna be very like, look how sexy this is.
What if they showed their boobies?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's like it's like just be a porn director if that's what you want to do.
That's ultimately that's where Park Chan-wook will really shine, in my opinion, is as a porn director.
And you know, those would be shown in cinemas just because they would be like, it's him.
Visionary auteur.
Yes, it's artistic and
yeah.
That's Yeah.
Park Chan-wook's visionary new movie, Stepdaughter, Stepwife.
No.
That's kind of like
my God.
It's kind of like how it feels in some of these kind of like films that feel very exploitative.
Yeah.
But I think I just have so much rage because I hated The Handmaiden so much. So yeah. But like
Fair enough.
recently I feel like especially in TV, it's been done in a way that's like a bit more because I feel like with kind of like gay gay stuff, it's very
Yeah.
easy, especially in movies and TV, to kind of make it like the brunt of the joke in a way because it's like
Hmm.
this can be something very like revolutionary in a way, but it can't be serious because then we'll lose funding.
Yeah.
For example, like uh season one of Friends had the first ever lesbian wedding
Oh,
shown
huh.
in media
Didn't know
or in
that.
TV. And like there's still a lot of like quips about being lesbian and
Yeah.
uh there's still something pretty progressive in a way. Just like
Yeah.
kind of see where they came from. And I guess this incredibly true adventure of Two Girls in Love came after that, I guess.
Yeah, it would be,
Yeah.
wouldn't it?
Hmm.
Yeah.
This is like I think maybe it's just been a bit easier in TV to kind of like normalize it in a way.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like with a film, you're like spotlighting it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
In like a TV show, it's
And
like just put it in the background. It's fine. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
it can be like a just a little background thing happening and then you don't have to see it
yeah,
for more than 2 minutes.
yeah. But then we had like the L Word
Yeah.
and like Orange is the New Black. Like
Hmm.
that was a lot of lesbians.
Yeah, that was lesbians.
Hmm. Yeah. I feel like, like I kind of didn't just want to like rehash all the stuff that we talked about previously, but I feel like
No.
it's nice to have films like this and you can kind of like always see that there's always some kind of like good forward momentum,
Yeah,
progression in a way
it's
through queer cinema.
yeah.
Hmm.
'Cause with in this film with like the lesbian aunt, it's like, oh, you can see a older she's not old, but she is older than the high schoolers.
Yeah.
Like lesbian women being in a relationship with other women and just being very healthy and it's a good life. It's still a nice and fulfilling life.
Hmm.
And it's kind of nice to see that because you don't really do that in a lot of films where one of the queer people die before they even turned 30.
Yeah.
So, it's very nice and very important to show these films to just be like, you will be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you will find someone who loves you and you will grow old and you will not die of AIDS or
Yeah.
being beaten up by someone who hates you just because you're in love with the same gender.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I think we're in like a much better time now, more or
Definitely.
less.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah. We were just
Hmm.
talking about Queer Eye, you know.
Yeah.
But I guess that show when it like was first out must have been like,
Oh, yeah. It was a bit problematic, I feel like, in the beginning
yeah,
for like certain people. It's like, what is this? Netflix definitely lost subscribers.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I think the original show was in like the 80s or the 90s even. So
Yeah.
that's like, there's always been kind of like um wave makers in the kind of like queer director,
Oh, yeah,
screenwriter community.
definitely.
So it's nice that we kind of have been able to trust those people in the past to kind of get to where we were. So like,
Hmm.
you know, big up Maria Maggenti. Where are you now, Diva? Los Angeles.
Slay. She did write. I saw a show called Sex Life
Yeah.
in 2023. And
Okay.
if I remember correctly, that was the show that went viral on TikTok because one of the characters had a ginormous penis.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait, wait.
I think it's this show. because it was like a whole thing, like everyone go to this show at this time to see.
Yep. Okay. This was the one that had like real sex in it, right?
Maybe
Yeah,
it
yeah,
might
yeah.
be,
I
yeah,
believe so.
yeah.
There was like realpenetration.com.
Realpenetration.com.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, good for her. I guess sexual liberation is the next front, so.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I don't know if she was like the main writer. I just saw she was there. Oh, she wrote one episode.
And it was the best one.
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess if you have any like I don't know, I feel like I'm putting you on the spot in this question, but like any
Oh,
similar films, I guess, that you have seen that kind of just show queer love in a normal way. Because I was thinking, I was like, is there that for like gay men? Because I feel like they're only ever really cringy and horrible. Like Bros.
uh, I didn't see that. I don't know if I should.
I would say no. But I mean like,
It's
yay, but whatever.
uh so I can't really remember how this film's end, but Paria by Dee Reese is really good.
Hmm.
It's about a teenager in Brooklyn. It is a bit sadder because it's more about yeah, this teenager alike who tries to get comfortable with being queer,
Hmm.
and her mom is very much not approving
Hmm.
that, but it's still a really, really good film that I would recommend. And oh shit, what is that called again? Cocoon is really good.
Hmm.
We showed that in the film club last year, I think. Just young girl trying to figure out her sexuality
Yeah.
and meeting another girl and just her starting to get more comfortable about being a lesbian, which is nice.
Hmm.
And there was one more I sort of just remembered, but now I can't remember it anymore. No. But they are, yeah, The Watermelon Woman
Oh yeah.
by Cheryl Dinya. That is really good. That is very sweet.
Hmm.
That is a recommend. 100% watch that.
100%. Yeah.
Please. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Do you have any closing remark to make about this movie before we end the episode?
Um, huh. Just there is a lot of nice lesbian films out there. You just have to look for them.
Yeah.
So take your time because it is important that they are being watched and are being shared. So just look for them and you will find them. And you might find your new favorite film ever
Hmm.
because of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And man, these bitches be gay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good for them. Good for them.
Yeah. Good for them.
Hmm.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much for being back on the podcast despite
Of
your
course.
incredible illness.
I I'm so sorry I wasn't better company. I hope
No. No, no,
people
no.
are still okay with me and don't hate me.
Everyone loves you. Don't worry about it.
Oh my God, thank you so much.
When you eventually kill me and take my place as the podcast
Yeah.
host, people will be happy, I think.
Okay,
Yeah.
good, good. So I can keep on my planning of
I think
how
so.
to get rid of. Yeah, no, great.
When we do a live episode on episode 50 and you kill me, Lana, then
Oh my God.
it only makes sense.
I mean,
Yeah.
it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, pleasure as always. I'm sure you'll be back on again soon.
Oh, probably. Suddenly I will make an appearance
Yeah.
at some point.
Okay.
So don't miss me too much.
No.
And then I will hopefully be not sick and disgusting.
Wish everyone, wish Carolina feel better in the chat, everyone.
F in the chat.
F in the chat for feel better.
Yes, that's exactly what it stands for.
Okay. Goodbye.
Bye.
This has been a Bergen Film Club production. Our music is by Wise John. Check them out on Instagram at WISEJohnOfficial. Our logo is by Pia Sofia Brentersen. This episode was produced, mixed and engineered by Joel Lawrence. Our researchers are Inke Schilbreiben and Maria Maggenti. Want to talk to us about films? Then please send us an email at podcast@bergenfilmclub.com. Follow the show on Instagram and Twitter at TheRealThingPod. Check us out on Letterboxd at BFK The Real Thing. Thank you and goodbye. Listen, follow, leave us a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, or wherever it is that you get your podcasts.